everything seems to be going in the right direction. All sectors of the economy are showing significant growth, and unemployment is coming down all the time. So we should push ahead. We should not stop the privatization program. There should be incentives coming into the economy for new enterprises to encourage the creation of new enterprises. We have been giving great attention to startups and new businesses. We have actually been cooperating with the Finnish government, and we have had 3 or 4 events so far in Cyprus, especially for younger people, aspiring entrepreneurs. These actually have been bi-communal events attended by both Greek and Turkish Cypriot youths. The cooperation has been with the involvement of Slash, the very well-known incubator and center in Finland. So we have been talking also to universities about creating the right environment for young people to be able to work there, and with the municipalities in the different cities. Well, I'm a great believer in this, in the fact that reunification would unleash the full potential of Cyprus. Cyprus is gifted with many advantages geopolitically, but also because of the high education level of its population and its skillful workforce. We have good infrastructure, both in terms of hard infrastructure, airport, roads, telecommunications, etc., but also soft infrastructure in terms of the legal system, the judicial system, the right business practices, a very well developed accounting profession, a very well developed legal profession, etc. So we have everything that it takes, and our only constraint is the fact that we are not a united country, and we are living in abnormal conditions in a sense, even though there has been no trouble or violence in Cyprus for many decades now. The problem is still there politically. So if the two communities come together in a unified country, the potential is unbelievably great. And I'm not saying this because I want to say this. I'm saying this because there have been studies. The most prominent one is a study which was done some years back and has been kept updated recently again. This was done by PRIO, the Peace Research Institute of Oslo, a Norwegian organization, which shows that GDP of Cyprus could triple within 20 years if there is a solution, and all sectors will benefit. The average growth within this period of 20 years is estimated to be around 4.5%, which in these days is a great growth. Whereas without the reunification, this is estimated to be as little as 1.5% on average. The energy sector is, of course, a new sector which is very promising for Cyprus. Absolutely new, because over the years we had to rely on imported energy. However, the potential of discovering large quantities of mainly natural gas, but also possibly oil, gives us great hopes. At the moment, there are some of the world leading energy companies interested in exploring the exclusive economic zone of Cyprus. There is already drilling going on, etc. We haven't as yet discovered the great quantities. We have discovered some quantities. However, we haven't even completed the second phase of the exploration program by the government, and we are all very hopeful. So it all depends on the actual size of the reserves that will be found. But if, as in the rest of the area, Egypt economic zone, Israel economic zone, great reserves are discovered, then Cyprus, because of its position, could become an energy center. Again, I will come back to the problem, the political problem, and I would say, again, this sector would benefit greatly if there was a solution to the political problem of Cyprus. So the Chamber has been involved over the last 40 or 45 years in promoting Cyprus abroad as an international business center. The right environment is here. We have a very good tax system. We have a great network of double tax treaties with very important partners. But we also have highly developed professional services here. Anything that an international company will need to the highest level. We have the right legal system. It's based on its English counterpart, company law, business law, etc. is very similar. And the business practices, again, are very similar to European practices. So we have a great geographical position, and we have good relations with almost every country in the world, especially in the area. So all of this gives the opportunity to Cyprus to be a gateway for Middle East and Asian companies into the European Union, and vice versa. We have very good relations with Eastern Europe as well, and again, a great network of double tax treaties with these countries. So this has worked in favor. Actually, services was one of the sectors that withstood the crisis very well. There was no real, let's say, backtracking in the services sector. The professional services remain more or less stable, and now they have taken a leap forward again. I think the European Union has a great future if they get certain things right. I think at the moment there is inconsistency in trying to centralize various things, whilst at the same time different countries can to a very large extent act as they wish. Take, for instance, the refugee problem and the millions of people that had to come to Europe because of the problems in their own countries, either economic or political or security issues, etc. So countries acted in a different way. There is no uniform, let's say, approach to this problem. And also certain countries that are nearer to the trouble areas had to sort of bear most of the burden. I think if we want Europe to act as one, then we should have a common foreign policy for all countries, applying to all countries. We should have common defense systems, and then we can talk about, you know, how we run our countries internally within Europe. Now, we've seen the problem with the Eurozone, where member states, those participating in the Eurozone, did not have a uniform supervision of their banking systems. That was a loose supervision, and they were relying on supervision by their own central or national banks. And that showed the inconsistency. If you want to have one currency, you have to have common supervision. The same applies to everything else. You can't have independence and trying to act as one unit at the same time.